Hello, this is Sarah Tuberty, your host from Disarming Disability. Enjoy the following program on Public House Media.
Hey, this is Lee.
And this is Chelsea.
And we are the host of your new favorite sales podcast, See Jane Sell.
Join us every Thursday for a new episode where we will tackle the realistic world of sales and maybe teach you a thing or two along the way.
You can subscribe to See Jane Sell on Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, iHeartRadio, CastBox, and Spotify. Thanks, and enjoy the following podcast on Public House Media.
Hey Pageant Pals!
I'm Maddie.
And I'm Jess.
And welcome back to Crumb and Dangerous.
Episode 20.
That's exciting. Do not say we made it.
No, I won't.
Okay.
I won't.
I wish people that every episode like, we made it! And I'm always like, yes.
This one's actually monumental though, because I feel like 20 is quite a bit.
That is, it's catching up with how old we are.
Ew.
Ripe old age of 23. 23 is okay though, 24 will seem so
24 will be
ancient.
weird, 25 will be weird. I feel like everything after this is just going to be like, 1 year closer to 30.
I agree, though I think 27 is a cool age. I just like that number.
We'll see when we get there.
Mm-hmm. We're here on this fine Wednesday night.
It's Wednesday night. We're really pushing it.
We're pushing it. Jess has her red wine. I have my white.
We're just chilling tonight.
We are counting down to the weekend. 2 more
Oh my
days.
God.
We can do it.
It can't come soon enough.
Mm-hmm.
This weekend will be a weird one.
Why?
So, I'll be out and about this weekend.
Doing what?
Driving to Chicago.
Wait, what? Give me your schedule.
My schedule for the weekend?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Saturday, I'll be at the BFs on Friday.
Oh,
and
the
then
BF. So that's the BS. And I was like, what's the BS? On
It's
Friday.
a bunch of
okay.
BS. On Friday, Saturday, driving to Chicago to drop him off at the airport.
What time's that at?
We'll leave Madison pretty early.
How early? I need to know
Because
all
we're
details.
meeting his parents
So
in
will you be
Milwaukee.
home? That's the important question.
Sunday.
Oh, you're staying
I'm
over?
staying. Yeah, I'm staying.
Dang.
Yeah. So I'll be out and about all weekend, dropping him off to ship him off for a month.
So you're gone all weekend.
I'll
What
be
should
gone
I do
all
this weekend?
Let's do a poll.
Yeah, really. I have a forward game on Saturday night.
That will be fun.
Except you're not coming with me now. Sad.
I know.
I'll figure it out.
I'll be back for the next one.
Whatever, I don't care.
How has your week been?
Pretty crazy.
Yeah.
I feel like I didn't even have a weekend last weekend.
Oh my God, no.
On Friday, I had to run errands after work, and then Saturday morning, I was on the west side of Madison all morning, and then
Yep.
I was getting ready to go to Milwaukee for a podcast thing I had to do, and then came back. It was my sister's birthday, so then she came to Madison, and then we went out. We went to dinner. Then Sunday, I went home for Mother's Day and came back. So I just want to chill this weekend.
Yeah, you
not
were
do
running
anything
around like crazy.
I know, I'm somebody that I need craziness to appreciate
Downtime?
downtime.
Oh, yeah.
Or no, sorry, vice versa. I need laziness to appreciate the craziness.
Okay. That makes sense.
And when I'm around people all day, I get so drained.
Yeah.
I would go to an appearance for Miss America and I would come home and not want to talk to anyone. I'd be cranky.
That's like state pageant week.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I feel. Like after spending the entire week with like 20 other girls, plus like you're just around people all the time.
You want to see your family, but at the same time your family asks the most
I
generic
know.
questions.
How's it going?
It's
Are you
like,
okay?
really? Am I okay? No. Do
Like,
I look okay? No.
I'm not okay. I have had 2 hours of sleep this week and no food. That's how I feel.
Right, and I get a really bad fight or flight reaction, like the night before Miss Wisconsin or anything. I'll be like, dude, should I even go?
Yeah. Yeah. Honestly, I'm like, I'm quitting. I'm quitting.
Should I just not show up in the morning?
They can't stop me.
That would be so nice. But speaking of, actually, that was not a good segue. But anyways.
No, I think so. We're talking a little bit about state pageants because it is state pageant season.
And last episode, we talked about Miss USA.
Yeah, that was exciting. How do you feel about the new Miss USA?
I think she's pretty cool. I think the organization in general is doing well at branding itself.
For sure.
I dig it.
I thought it was a great show, and I think she is very accomplished. She's an athlete. She's a lawyer. She's just setting a great example. And I know there have been articles and stuff coming out that Miss America, Miss USA, and Miss Teen USA are all Black women.
I want to ask you about that.
Okay.
Do you think, in your opinion, and if anyone's listening, sound off to us as well, do you think it's good to celebrate that we have such diversity in how many franchise organizations?
Sure.
Or do you think by saying, hey, we finally have an all Black or all African American
like title holders
that were just drawing more attention to the fact that they're different? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get what that means.
I think it's double-edged sword. Like, do we ignore it and just be like, no, we don't see color. Like, everyone's the same. You're not winning because you're a different race.
Sure.
You're winning because you're the best.
Those are the best.
Or is it, okay, we want to give them a chance to represent their history, their background.
Right.
So that's why we had them win. Those are things I always want to know.
I know.
Personally.
I think that was, I was reading some comments on some of those articles too, and people said the same thing. You know, they're like, okay, so we have, 3 Black women that are the representatives for 3 huge pageant organizations. But I think it's really great because I think it's bringing some much needed diversity to both organizations.
Right.
But yeah, at the same time, we wouldn't celebrate if 3 white women were all title holders like they have been throughout the years. But I think it's exciting. I think it's a great thing because I don't think that there have been, I don't think that every race or background has been accurately represented in this sort of light before. So I think it's exciting.
And it's kind of like the presidency thing where people, this is just like being super honest. It was like, okay, did you vote for Barack Obama because you thought he was the best candidate or because he was African-American and you wanted to see the first
I think people,
president, or even Hillary Clinton?
Right. I think people say that.
She was a woman.
True.
Whereas like, I like to say I'm a pretty major feminist and it's still like, okay, I would not vote for someone just because they're
for sure
a woman.
It should be about their credentials.
Yeah,
right.
That's what feminism is. Feminism is not just voting for the candidate that's a woman.
Right.
People, get it together.
It's about, if the best candidate is a woman, great, obviously. But I think
this is coming from Jessica and I, who have like the most,
we have very different political views.
Yeah.
No, but I think it's the same sort of thing with this whole Miss America, Miss USA, Miss Teen USA thing. It's like those 3 women were chosen because they were the best options for that title.
But do you know that?
I would hope so.
Well, yeah, we're all hoping that.
Yeah.
But we don't know.
Oh, no, we don't.
But
that's like the same thing for every situation.
Miss America, they were like, I wouldn't be surprised if they picked someone of color. I've heard that.
Well, actually, because the first runner-up to Miss America this year was a white woman. And they were like, and people were saying there's no way that they would choose her. Especially in the climate that MAO is in right now.
State too, where people would say they have to at least have some diversity in the top 10. So people would say back. People have said this to me that no matter what in the top 10, they will have someone of color in the top 10, no matter what.
Interesting.
Just so people don't get mad. Which I think is very interesting.
That is very interesting. I don't know. I think
it's a politics game too, and I think that there's so much that goes on behind closed doors.
Ooh, I really wonder. I want to be on a board one day and just know. I just want to know. I don't want to be involved in all of that stuff, but I would like to be a fly on the wall.
If there is something corrupt about it, then you're part of the corruption. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah. I wouldn't want to. I'm just saying I would want to be a fly on the wall.
Oh yeah.
So I can hear all those things.
But they said you wanted to be on a board.
Oh no! I want to be in on it, in on a board just to watch.
Well, yeah.
I don't want to be a part of that.
Do that. They make you sound like an NDA.
I'll
something.
Just be. Yeah, true. Anyway, yeah. Let us know what you think about this. The Triple Crown going to 3 Black women. I think it's cool. I think it's great that we're celebrating it because I think there is some much needed diversity, but there is more. There's more to the story. I think
so.
There's more opinions too to be said.
And I think honestly, anytime we're celebrating women's achievements and women in general, we're going a step ahead in the right direction, no matter what.
For sure.
Religion, color.
Yeah, and I think it's great that they're they're emphasizing their accomplishments too. That's one of the first things I knew about Miss USA is that she was like a lawyer and an athlete, and
she's great.
I think it's cool.
Cheers to that, Jessica.
Yeah, cheers to that. Cheers to strong, successful women.
Just like ourselves.
Oh yeah, we'll go with that. Here we are sitting drinking.
Woo!
Anyway, let's move on a little bit. We're doing a little mini Q&A.
Right, and we have potentially a really exciting guest coming on.
Oh, yes.
I just want to hint at that.
Yeah.
I'm really excited. I can't wait to just
excited.
get into it and be like, what's the
situation?
Yeah, what's going on?
Yeah.
Tell us everything.
If you have an idea of who you think our guest will be, we're trying to work out the details right now. She has a couple of hoops that she needs to jump through to be on the show.
Right.
But
so cool.
we're so excited because there was some big news that came out recently, and we're really excited to connect with her on this.
Oh, yeah.
So, speaking of state pageants, yeah, that was another bad segue. We have a few questions to answer regarding maybe preparing for a state pageant or interview or handling onstage question, things like that.
And the good thing that's about this show that may be different than other people's opinions, we're going to be super honest.
Oh, I feel like we always are.
Oh, we are. But I'm saying, like, looking at these questions, I feel like there are, like, easy answers. Like, I think when in general, just think of, like, the pageant community and you ask maybe a general person, I would say, like, a question, I feel like the same generic answer comes out. Everyone has a scripted answer of, like, the same question.
Oh, yeah.
I bet you could ask one question, put 20 pageant girls in a room and say, give the most generic answer, and, like, we'd all have the same answer.
We'd all know. I mean, it's just, I think it's kind of what comes along with being in pageants is just, like, knowing how to just either BS or just say the right thing to make people happy.
Oh, yeah, that's the thing. Pageants
which is unfortunate.
are 100% BSing when it comes to onstage questions and stuff.
Oh, my God. That's all you can do, honestly. You really can't prepare much more than
some people would be like, no, it's not.
But it is.
It is.
Because you don't know what you're
can
preparing
BS.
for. Yeah.
Exactly.
You don't know what you're preparing for. It's hard to do that. So you kind of do have to,
Oh, yeah. Oh,
pull it out of nowhere. So, question number 1. I was talking to a friend actually about this, and she asked me this.
Who asked you? Can I ask, or do I know this person?
Yes. Do you need to overcome something difficult in order to be inspiring?
Does this person have a title? Have they ever had a title?
Nope.
Okay. Cool.
So,
I think that's interesting. That's just like an interesting question I always have before.
Yeah. Do you think that you need to overcome something or some sort of challenge in order to be inspiring?
I think that's a really common interview question. What have you overcome in your life?
Yeah.
And how
what makes you inspiring? I just hate pageant questions.
I mean,
do you think so? Like, do you think that?
I think everyone has their own challenges.
Right. Does it have to be a sob story in order to be inspiring?
No, but I do think sob stories, annoyingly, they help.
Yeah.
But don't make one out of thin air either.
Oh, no.
Don't act like you
I'm
put
not gonna,
your cat
I'm not gonna,
down and
right.
it was the hardest day of your life.
I'm not going to act like I've been through, oh, God.
That's what was so hard, too. Like, even with my platform, people would come up to me and be like, oh, my gosh, did you get raped?
Oh, my God.
And I know, people are really blunt.
Yeah, why would people ask that blatantly?
I know, and I'm just like, no. Yeah. So, like, it's hard having a platform that, like, no, I was not raped. No. I had an article published about me. You probably saw this, and it was, like, the first few lines of it was a former Miss Lacrosse.
I know what you're thinking of. Yep.
Sexually assaulted. But, like, they made it sound like rape or something.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
I mean, that's the thing is, like, there's so many varying degrees of sexual assault.
And people would come into my dad's business and be like, oh my God, I'm so sorry about your daughter. And my dad would be like, oh,
she's
what?
Okay. Oh my God.
I'm fine. I mean, I've obviously had instances, and I think every woman has dealt with some degree of assault.
I just texted you about a verbal assault from last week that I experienced.
It's 100% a thing, but no, I don't think you need to have it, of course. And I think sob stories are also kind of annoying. Also, when it depends too, like if you're making your talent coincide with your platform, be really careful because it can either be done really well
for sure, or
it's very annoying. And it's like, oh, yeah, like really?
Yeah. Ugh. Give me an example.
Of a good one and a bad one?
Well, just like what you mean in terms of having a talent that goes along with your platform. Is it like the story that goes along with it that connects to your platform?
I think people sometimes go in thinking that it has to go with your platform. It's like, no, it doesn't.
It doesn't.
Do what you're good at, honestly. Like, do what you're good at. Don't try and make it all meshed together.
No, it doesn't need to connect in any way.
But, like, my first 3 years, I did a talent that had nothing to do with my platform. And my 4th year this past year, like, the song could go with my platform, but I mostly did it just because I was kind of giving, like, a big FU to the judges from last year. Like, again, And I just I had to prove something. I felt like again going from first runner up to not making the top 10 back into the top 5. It was like I kind of had to be like F you guys for last year, and F all the people who were thinking that I was a total flub. And it was about like reaching your lowest point, and then I'm trying to think of what the words were. It was like I thought I took all I could take.
My own strength.
I didn't know my own strength. Right. So
I love that song.
It was like that. It was really important to me, but it didn't like, and it could go well with my platform too. And like, I could tie that in for sure, but like.
You didn't want it to be so directly related that it would just be like beating a dead horse.
Right. That has to appeal to everyone.
Sure. Yeah, I agree.
Plus, talents, like if you're dancing and it's about your platform, you have to like tell a story with it,
right.
Especially.
You have to really emote with that shit. But I agree. I don't think that you need to overcome something that has, been so difficult or something like that. Like my platform is not anything that really negatively affected me at some point that I had to overcome.
It's just about like empowering girls.
Yeah, it is.
I was so unempowered when I was a kid.
I was really down on myself. No, it's
so weird.
I'm glad that I didn't have to go through anything that was really, terrible in my life to have my platform. But it's, you have to choose a topic that you're passionate about and that has impacted you in some way and that you can make an impact for other people. And it doesn't have to be a sob story.
Also, another double-edged sword question, kind of like earlier. Do you think sob stories, if you have one, is it good to share? Or does it look like you're capitalizing on your family, friends, whoever's death or horrible tragedy to get yourself further ahead?
Oh, see, this is tricky.
Sound off as well, because I'm curious about this audience.
I'm actually very curious as well. I think there are some platforms that I've heard of that are surrounding like a family tragedy or something that are done really well. They, you can reflect on that tragedy, but also they turn it around and actually do some really awesome things with it.
I think a good tip for that is when people ask, like if they're asking about your sob story in an interview, do not spend the whole time talking about how sad you were, how sad your family was, how like much it sucked. Talk about that for maybe a few seconds. This happened. It sucked. This is how it affected me.
I think we talked about
here's
this
what
once.
I'm going to do about it.
Right.
And this is the action plan I have.
This
for
is the difference
whatever.
that I've made so far.
Right. And I'm going to help other people who are in this situation just like me and prove to them that I got through it. They can too.
Right.
Blah, 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 blah. Do
Right.
not just sit there and be like, this happened to me and it sucks. So just because this happened to me means that I deserve a title.
Right.
No, it's
absolutely not.
Okay, we're sorry that happened. Can't really, maybe you can relate, maybe you can't.
Right.
Sorry that happened, but what are you going to do about it? Why are you standing in front of me right now?
Right.
Are you just telling me this bad thing happened to you and expect me to just hand you over a crown?
No, definitely not.
No.
I think that with every candidate, the person who in their interview and on stage exhibits the most drive to make a difference and who has actually proven that they have should win.
Right. I don't think, but the thing though, pageants aren't fair.
Oh no.
So
it's
like
totally unfair.
This is all logic, but pageants don't go by logic.
No,
I mean,
they never
the
have.
highest and lowest scores are thrown out. That's not logic. Okay.
Right.
That's just honestly taking that's kind of like setting a curve, making everyone average, which is also very annoying.
Yeah. Average. We're shooting for average here.
Well, honestly though, it's like you think that, okay, things should be judged this way. This is how they should pick. But you and I both seen
it's happened.
Things happen where we're like,
what? Yeah.
Where did that come from? That was out of left field. Or like, how do they not see through this?
Right.
So it's like, we think it's off logic, but think of these judges too. Half the time they're novice, which
also annoying.
Right, because we spend, our how many years and months planning for this, and somebody waltzes in not knowing anything about the org and then tells you if you're qualified.
Exactly.
Try again.
Right. That's the most frustrating thing, I think.
Yep.
That's happened before. But no, I think if someone's competing and they're trying to capitalize on something terrible that happened to them, I think that's crappy on them. Right. And that says something terrible about them.
Do you think people do that too with if they've lost quite a few pageants? They're like, now it's my time.
Oh, yes.
And not just like
that was
to
another
you
question
and
we
me,
had.
but to like an interview.
Yeah.
To be like, I've tried for this title for 25 times, so like now I deserve it.
Yes. Yes, for sure. That was another thing that we
do you think
noted here.
It comes off, again, I'm just all about the double-edged sword today. Do you think it comes off as, wow, they're so dedicated, they really want this title, or, okay, you've lost, 25 times. Obviously, this is not for you. Move on.
Yeah.
And it depends how you look at it.
Yeah,
and
it really does.
It's scary that we put our...
and the thing is, too,
them.
a judge's panel could think two different things. There could be two people that are like, wow, like, this girl has, she's tried so many times. That's great. Like, she's so dedicated and she's committed to actually doing this. But then there could be a couple of other judges that are like, this is annoying.
Well, I find interesting, too, is and
then the scores could be all wonky.
And this is what's also kind of effed up, is that because of the lack of final ballot at locals now, I've heard judge panels be like, well, this girl scored the highest, but we like this girl better.
Oh, geez.
So it's like this moral battle again between, okay, is it based off scoring or who you like better?
Well, right.
So
because if you genuinely do like someone, you'll probably score them higher regardless. So it's so messed up in so many ways. But not
if you're a fair judge. If you're a fair judge, you'll be like, okay, this girl's really nice, but scoring wise,
she's not. Yeah. It doesn't add up. Yep.
So it's confusing.
This is tricky.
Don't want to be a judge in a way. Because that's the thing too, is that you only see, I was thinking about this the other day, you only see people on stage in an interview, but you have no idea what those people are like behind closed doors.
I know. Because people can put on a facade. Hardcore.
I would feel sick if I picked someone because I thought they were good, and then I heard they were this horrible person and this mean girl.
Right. And you would hope that you would be able to see through that in an interview, but
you
some
know what?
are really
I'll tell you
freaking
right now,
hard. Yep.
A lot of people don't.
Yep.
Just putting it at that.
Yep. A lot of people don't see that. So, long story short, if you're capitalizing on a sob story or trying to get ahead based on failures, it's not going to save you. You need to prove to them that you are the best candidate based on what you've done, what you've accomplished, the goals that you set, and the difference that you're making.
Boom. On to the next.
Boom. On to the next. What are some things that you wish you knew before competing? A lot. I feel like I've been tainted over the past 5 years.
Oh, we were talking about this last night.
Yeah.
Everyone who's actually been through the org is a little bit jaded.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's funny too because I think former state title holders are always so over it after they're done. They're like, oh my gosh.
As I'm sipping my wine.
They were super. There were so many great moments, but this.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Definitely. Don't get me wrong. I mean, there were some really great parts of it, and I'm very thankful for some of the things that came out of that and the skills I gained. But also, there's a lot of BS that happens.
Oh, for sure.
We've talked about this so many times. But is that one of the things that you wish you would have known before competing? Is how crazy it is?
I mean, I think anytime you put how many girls together, it's going to get crazy. And I am sorry, anyone who's listening and is all up the, donkey's butt of the trend of, oh my gosh, no, we all empower each other. No one is mean ever. We're all sisters. Cattiness doesn't exist. I don't know her. No, that's not true, okay? You're all liars if that's what you think is true.
There always is. Everybody said something about someone else.
Exactly.
Especially when you're in a competitive environment.
Exactly.
Claws come out. I mean, aside from that, yeah. We met because of this,
For sure. But if you can be honest about it,
yeah,
then people I think respect you a little bit more.
Oh, for sure.
That's the thing too with the best is again when we see things and people say how great it is, but Jess and I see these people say these things and we know the crap they talked. Are you kidding me? That's the best part. Yep. It's those people who are like, oh my god, no, we're all sisterhoods, blah blah blah. But then Jess and I'm sure we could come up with 10 examples each of crap that person has talked.
Right.
Which again is fine because we all do it.
We all do it.
It's cool.
Everybody's guilty.
Yeah.
I mean, it totally
it's not
happens.
We're sitting here being but we never do it.
I'm perfect.
Yeah. No, you're not.
Exactly. But I mean, it's inevitable. You can't avoid it.
Right.
Everybody's going to get competitive. Everybody's going to, say things that they don't like about other people. You can't avoid it, but don't pretend like everything's peachy and perfect.
Right. And this is something I've said to you too is when we've had conversations the past few weeks, months, whatever, and someone has said something about maybe you or me. But I remember one time you had said about the situation a few months ago, you were like, this kind of makes me feel bad and everything. And I was like, okay, but how much do you respect the opinion of that person?
Right.
That's what you have to think. If someone's being mean to you or talking crap about you, if it's, first of all, I think I would want someone to say, if I was doing something morally really wrong, I'd want someone to say it to my face.
Oh, yeah.
Don't talk crap about me if you can't confront me. But at the same
That's a
time,
lesson that I think we all need to learn.
Right. And if it's someone that you really respect their opinion, maybe then internally look at yourself and be like, maybe I should change. But if it's someone just talking crap, maybe they're jealous of you, maybe they have other things going on in their life. Honestly, you don't need to, you can respect them as a person, but you don't need to respect their opinion. It doesn't need to mean, like,
you don't need to take it to heart.
Eleanor Roosevelt said, no one can make you feel inferior without your consent. Yeah. That's so true.
Oh, yeah. Honestly. I need to remind myself of that because I mean, I think you and me both, I know we take things pretty hard, like to heart.
Right. Well,
then when we shouldn't.
But I have to say, though, I only take it to heart when it's people's opinions I really respect and people who I consider friends.
Okay.
Then yes. But again, in this pageant realm, I've seen many things. And that's what's also different is like from maybe I look at myself my first year of competing. Maybe this coincides with our question, what are some things you wish you knew? My first year, I was so rose-colored glasses. Oh, everything is so great about this organization. There's nothing wrong.
There's nothing wrong.
Everything's perfect. Okay. Yep. And I mean, it was 1.0, so maybe it was.
So maybe it was perfect,
but no,
there were flaws.
Yeah, 100%. And then over the years, I learned a little bit more. I think as you get more confident with yourself and know who you are, you see more of the reality.
Yep.
More of the reality of things, I guess.
Yep. Yeah, for sure.
And you just learn, again, that you grow out of it, and it's just not your ride anymore. And that's a good thing. Like, you want to grow out of things and get new challenges. You don't want to be stuck in the same box for 20 years, 7 years, 10 years, 9 years, whatever.
A million years. Yeah. Yeah, I think there's lessons that you learn along the way that are just like, you can take it into your future. Some things you need to leave behind, and that's totally fine. I guess, some things that I wish that I knew before jumping into it is, I needed to grow a thicker skin for sure. It's hard if you go into this with like, when you're very, very fragile, especially like really young girls that go into this really fragile, because you're going to get feedback. You're going to get feedback from judging panels, from directors, from volunteers, from people that shouldn't even be giving feedback. And you have to know when to take it with a grain of salt and when to take it to heart, just like you said. Like, whose opinions do you value? And I wish I knew that a while ago.
I don't want you to have the mindset because you have a gentle, fragile, loving, beautiful heart that you should be punished for feeling things deeply. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like, yes, thicker skin is good, but it's also like, don't punish yourself for feeling. And that's the thing too. It's like, constructive feedback is one thing, but just being mean is another.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And that's the thing. Like, I wish I didn't dwell on those kinds of things. Yes. Like, I wish I would have been able to just, like, push that away and not absorb it.
Right. And that's, And I'm trying to think, too, examples of when people have said, has anyone said anything mean to your face? I feel people have said mean things to my face, but that's one of the moments, too. And I think, too, this is just, like, unique to my personality. And it's very... I don't know if it's good, but I'm very much just like, when things go bad in any situation, I'm like, it'll work out.
Right.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It'll be fine. And people like freak out around me and they're like, what? Why do you think it's going to be fine? Like, you have to get this done. And I'm like, it'll be fine.
It'll be fine.
I'll get it done eventually. People freak out. So if someone says something mean to my face, I'm just like, meh.
Yeah.
Look, again, if I don't really respect their opinion, that probably sounds really harsh if you don't know me, but honestly, think about it. If someone random says something rude to you, you're not going to be like,
oh, shoot.
Oh, no. Darn, I need to change my whole life path.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. Change my name, go to the courthouse. But it's like, people have said mean things to my face. And I'm also, and in those situations, too, it's always been like, and I'm not someone to be like, everyone's jealous of me. But, like, it's always been moments, I think, of jealousy when it's like, after top 10 is
or
called.
Or someone's intimidated.
Top 5 is called. Intimidation.
High pressure.
Right. And that's something that I don't think I necessarily give off, but it's like, okay, it was my, like, say, how I competed for it in the org for 4 years, like, had 4 titles.
Yep.
That's just, like, how it was. And same for you, too, I'm sure. Like, so I don't know, like, just march the beat of your own drum. Again, if it's your friend who's being nice to you and like trying to tell you that you're a raging maniac, then maybe consider
listen.
it. But if it's someone random who also is just playing mind games, I'm sure we could do a whole nother segment on mind games.
Oh God.
crap,
especially during competition week.
Right. People do them. People play them all the time. Though, do you know what my favorite is? Is like when like you ask someone like about the floor or something like, oh my gosh, I think it's so slippery.
Oh yeah,
like,
yeah.
I think it's great. I think it's perfect.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, I don't have any problems.
Worked fine for me. Yeah. I didn't slip. Okay, good for you.
I know.
It's gonna throw some more resin on here.
Yeah, or it's like I'm kind of nervous before my interview, and people are like, really? I'm not.
Yeah.
That's stuff.
I hate
like,
that.
Why would you even say that to someone?
Exactly. Or even if someone comes out of their interview and you're like, oh, how'd it go? And they're like, I don't know, it was terrible. And they probably had a really good one. So they like think that you can write them off as no competition.
Right. Yeah.
Whatever. Get out of here.
I know.
Everybody's just kind of average during that week anyway.
I know. I think so too. I think it's almost funny.
Everybody's on the same playing field.
Right. And some people are just so like blunt, straight faced during that stuff. Like, nope, it was fine. Nope, I did fine.
Yeah.
I didn't have a problem. And it's just like, why would you say that?
Right.
Then watch those girls win like Miss Congeniality and you're like, WTF.
WTF, what's going on? Yeah. But for real, I think there are many things that I wish I knew before competing, but a handful of them are just, handling BS, basically.
Oh, yeah. The BS.
The BS. All right. Next question.
Oh, what about the I'm entitled to win? What was that one about?
Oh, so I think this goes along. This was just a note we jotted down under these. But I think a lot of girls, we've maybe talked about this before a little bit, but a lot of girls, I think, will compete multiple times, which is fine. And then they ask themselves, if they perpetually are like not winning, they'll ask themselves like, well, why haven't I won yet? Like, what am I doing wrong? What's better about her and not about me?
What was our episode that we talked about this a little bit on?
I can't remember. I think it was just a couple episodes ago.
Why you're not winning?
Why you're not winning? Yeah. Check yourself, basically. Right. But I think a lot of girls have that mindset. Like, if they're still not winning, even at the local level too, they're just not winning. They're not winning, and then they're like, well, this is ridiculous. Like, this was the best I've performed. Why am I still not winning? What's better about her? Like, I did better than her the last time, so why did she win this time? It's just like,
it's opposite, where people are like, it'll just be my time when it's my time. They don't
absolutely
prepare at all.
Not. Absolutely not. That's the most BS thing that I've ever heard is it's my time.
Yeah.
Or
it's not my time.
It just wasn't my time.
And they're like not preparing at all.
Yeah. I'm like, no, you actually need to like, I think it's a self-realization thing too. And when people think that they, my time is right around the corner, that's a self-actualization thing. That's a self-realization thing. Like, you need to check yourself. Listen to the feedback that matters to you. Work on yourself. Watch yourself on stage. I mean, like, just get a better idea of how you can improve for yourself and believe that you're fine on your own. And if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, then it doesn't. And you have to be okay with that.
Right. But it's hard for me to, I think I'm going to, here. I feel like if I talk about this subject, I'm just going to sound really braggy.
Okay.
And I'm giving a disclaimer. I'm not trying to be braggy right now. Okay. I don't think I'm a braggy person.
No.
That's just not really my jam.
No.
But like, I also feel like I can't talk about this because all of my 4 titles were within 4 years. Yeah. So every year I competed, I had a title.
Sure.
So I feel like I can't sit and talk about like competing 10 times before winning.
Yeah. I can
do it, which is fine. And I'm not being braggy. Like, I think honestly, I worked hard and stars aligned. I don't know what happened. Yeah. What I can talk about again is literally going from number 1 to number 5,000. I can talk about that.
Dropping down the ladder.
Which I can kind of like vouch and say I'm not trying to sound like my prelims are so much worse, but like that sucked, guys. Yeah. That really sucked. I'm not gonna lie.
Sure.
And
anytime you take a step back is
it
hard.
Sucks.
It's hard.
So I can't really talk about competing 15 times before winning a title because I haven't experienced that.
Yeah.
Like I said, I can talk about going from top to bottom really badly.
Yeah.
And really badly. So I can talk about that if that comes up, but I don't. Yeah. And I think I beat that dead horse a few episodes back.
Yeah. I think we've definitely talked about this. So if you want to hear more about, entitlement and overcoming that kind of failure, then head back to those previous episodes. But I think nobody's entitled to win, regardless of how many times you compete.
No.
Point blank. Yeah, let's hit these last couple really quick before we wrap up here.
Cool.
Do you think there's such a thing as a right answer when it comes to onstage question or interview?
Yes. A million times yes.
Okay.
I also talked about this on an episode a week or two ago, probably. I think it's so easy to give the right answer. I think, honestly, most judges are very liberal. I think I don't know if I've ever had a conservative judge, to be honest. I've had judges argue with me during my answers. I think, again, like, how would you solve world hunger? Well, in my book, I would have the United States send over relief and whatever. But it's like, hey, we're already how many trillions of dollars in debt?
Okay.
18 to 20, I think, at this point. We don't have the money to do that. And, like, why is it our responsibility? So, like, say, and I don't even know if I believe that. I'm just saying if I said that, people would freak out.
Right.
They'd be like, oh, my gosh, she's so insensitive. But then somebody could be like, we should feed them and send over this and send this and spend money and help them because that is our role as the United States.
Yeah, any sort of world peace answer is going to be...
Right, and everyone's going to be like, oh my gosh, she's so nice. She might sound dumb, but she's nice, you know what I mean?
Sure.
So it's like, people will always appreciate, I think, that more than, well, I wouldn't help them, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or I'm trying to think what's a really hot topic debate. Like, say if,
so you got a question about, like, abortion.
I was just going to say
something
abortion,
really heated, because
especially
right now. Right.
Like, if somebody was like, abortion shouldn't be allowed, women don't have that right because I'm religious. If someone, and I don't, personally, that's, like, a topic I am very left on.
Yep.
But if someone said that, the audience would be uncomfortable. The judges would be uncomfortable.
Everybody's uncomfortable during those.
Also, because they're
really
a lot of judges are liberal. And then, again, you're only supposed to judge if they have an opinion on something. But then if somebody came out and said, a woman has a right to her own body, blah, 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 blah. I don't think abortion should be illegal, you know, blah, blah, blah. People would, like, stand up and clap and whoop and holler. Same about gay marriage, probably.
Sure.
Whereas, like, personally, I don't think the whole country should have a decision based off of one person's religion. But, like, that's just me. So... But, like, it's just such a difference in answers. And I feel like one is a crowd pleaser, one's not. And I think as much as people say, oh, they don't judge that way, they do.
They do.
If there was a girl...
It's a subconscious
But
thing.
think about it. You and I are both feminists. If somebody came out and said women shouldn't have rights, women should be able to vote, women shouldn't be able to get abortions, you and I would be really turned off. And I probably wouldn't like her.
Oh, no. Definitely
I'd be like,
not.
This girl is so out of touch.
Right.
Zero.
Because it differs with opinion. I think that's totally right. And I think there's a difference between the right answer and the right delivery as well.
And I think, too, I think it's always good to either have an opinion and stick with it or understand that there's both sides because you are appealing to most audiences.
I think that's the right route to go.
But I think onstage questions are really written one-sided.
We've talked about this.
Yes.
I think last episode we talked about it.
Yeah, we talked about it. Because, again, we talked about the Amazon minimum wage. It was just Amazon is boosting their minimum wage to $20. How do you think this will help Americans with the standard of living? And do you think it'll give them more access to a great thing? Blah, blah. So, of course, a person's going to be like, yeah, we'll give them access to better healthcare, better whatever. That's the easy answer. But if somebody came back and said, or they worded the question saying this would help with this, but it would increase inflation, it would put us
I
more
love
in
the
debt,
two-sided ones.
what do you think? I think that is so much more fair than just giving
one side.
And honestly, it always is liberal. Like, to be honest, it totally is. Think about it. You've never heard conservative ass onstage question. And I think that's kind of crappy. You know?
I'm trying to think of one. I've been asked, like, fairly conservative questions in my interview, but never an onstage question, I don't think. Ever.
Right. Because I think, you know, it's frustrating for me personally because it's like, they word this question in a way that they make it seem like you have to answer it a certain way.
Yes,
and
agreed.
It's very frustrating.
And then you can't stand up for what your real opinion is. I think.
Exactly.
Yeah, I agree. I agree in terms of, like, I wish I want more girls to answer in a two-sided way. Making it clear that they understand both sides and then giving their opinion. Mm-hmm. I think that's the most valuable way that you can answer. I think when it comes to delivery, I think delivery is so important in that sense. I don't care what your opinion is on a certain topic. If you deliver it well and you deliver it respectfully, perfect.
Mhm.
You know, that's really all you can do.
Right.
I feel like in that sort of sense, is if you're answering in less than 20 seconds, like they usually are.
Right. Or
beautiful.
I want to say too, really quick,
Mhm.
my onstage question at state this year was about gun control.
Mm-hmm.
And as someone who, like, I'm kind of scared of guns in a way. I go trap shooting with my dad, but like AR, military assault weapons, those freak me out. And even the way that question was asked about, you know, how would you curb gun control or gun or shootings in schools? How would I curb that? And it's like, okay, but what if I was really passionate about guns and really respected the Second Amendment, blah blah, and said, actually, we should have guns, but we should just have more. Like, if I started out saying something like that, people would freak out.
I also think, though, maybe I'm more of an open-minded person than the next. I don't know, but also I respect people who are able to say their opinion regardless of what side they are, as long as they're like they have their facts.
Right, but the thing is, you've been through the system.
Right.
You know that it's supposed to be scored that way.
That's true. I just wish the general public would understand that.
Right.
I get that.
But yeah, general public is usually
is difficult.
That's the thing too.
Because everybody wants a world peace answer.
Right.
It's because it's a crowd pleaser.
Yeah.
Nobody. I think in general, people won't push the status quo.
No.
That comes with pageants. That comes with so many other things too. Like, people are so afraid to push the status quo or be outside of the box or be very opinionated because, you know, because you're shit on. To be honest. Okay, we've talked about this.
Are you telling me I was shit on then, Jessica?
Yeah, I'll shit on you every day.
Are we supposed to swear on this podcast?
I don't know. I think we're fine. Hi, Baxter. Okay. Last question before we wrap up. State pageant season is coming up, like we said. What are some tips you have while preparing for state? I think most people have like 3 to 4 weeks left before their state pageants. Any tips?
Was thinking about one last double-edged sword when you were reading this. No, it's about this. Okay. How much of interviews do you think will be asked about 2.0 and basically all these title holders quitting their titles and being like, screw you, MAO. All these organizations getting their title, the franchises ripped away.
I wonder.
Do you think girls will like eat the donkey butt of the org and they're going to be like, I've chosen to still compete.
I think this happened last year.
I know that this, right, but it was so new that we didn't have much information. Whereas now all this stuff has come out, and all of these state title holders, a lot of them have been like, you know what, not the best year of my life. Not going to miss it. Peace out. See you never.
Yeah.
So I would say be authentic, because I think if you go into an interview and you're like, nope, everything's perfect and it's fine, and I go Miss America.
I don't disagree with anything.
Yeah, that's the best. I don't disagree with one thing ever.
I cannot stand that when people are ignoring the actual issues that are going on.
That's the thing too. That makes you what's my favorite word to use?
The sellout.
You're a sellout.
Right.
You're a sellout if you're that person that is just going to be like, everything's perfect, everything's been great. I'm going to be the best
just to get ahead.
Just to get ahead.
Just to get ahead. That's the thing. It's like, I think there's a way of stating if you disagree with something, but honestly, still being
in any organization.
Oh yeah,
there's room for improvement.
Oh my god, always. I think that was a pageant question that I got like 3 years ago. Was what's one thing that you would change about the organization? There's always room for improvement.
I feel like I've been asked that too a really long time ago.
Yeah, long time ago. But yeah, I agree. I think be authentic and just be honest in your interview, because I would rather be very honest in my interview, set it all out on the table, and be very, very true to what I believe than saying all this BS and walking out of there and winning. You know, I would rather just be completely honest.
Well, it's about integrity.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And that's something that it's very easy to lose and very hard to get back.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
And that's the thing, too.
Don't sip the Kool-Aid.
I don't forget. No one forgets.
Mm-mm.
People, again, I will say this every single episode, the only thing they forget is how you placed, but they will always remember how you made them feel.
Yep.
And I don't care a lot about how people place, but I remember the things they say to me, and about the people and things I care about.
Very true. I love that.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's true.
So, moral of the story, go into this pageant season, go into your state pageant, knowing what you believe, standing by that 110%. If there are things that you disagree with, say it. If there are things that you agree with, say it.
Also, take an opportunity if they ask you about the changes turn it around and make it about you, I would say.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Talk about
That's
how
always
you
the
don't
best way to
agree
go.
with something, but how you really want to embrace something, or you do really like an aspect, and talk about how you're going to be the best for this organization and why you're here to help it navigate, and you're going to be a role model and turn this thing around.
Yeah,
blah, blah, blah,
it's
blah,
all
blah.
about the marketing part of it for sure.
Right.
I think that was a big thing for last year too.
Yourself.
Oh yeah, you need to market yourself. You need to, let them know how these changes and how this huge transition will help you be the best representative for the program.
I've always heard, do you ever hear what the number one job of Miss whatever is to do?
I mean, it's always to market the program.
Right, but people trip up and people will say to talk about my platform.
Absolutely not.
It's spread my message.
Nope.
It's not about that. It's to market the organization.
You're the face of the organization.
Right.
That's your job.
That's what I'm saying. You'd be surprised how many people are like, I really want to spread my platform and my message. No, it's you're marketing the organization. Right. You're a face.
You're the face.
You're a product. Sorry, it's not really about you.
You are selling the organization, basically. You are the spokesperson for the program, so you got to sell it. Good, bad, and ugly.
Sell it, but don't sell out.
Ooh, I like that.
Sell it or sell out.
Sell it or sell out. That's interesting. I like that.
It is.
All right. Shall we wrap up? This was fun, chatting about some state stuff, some things we learned, some advice. That was a good time.
Fantastic.
Let's wrap up. We have a little fun mini segment here. Maddie and I were just talking about some old times, like things we used to do, things we used to read. For example, 17 magazine, which we still read. TigerBeat.
I was a J14.
J14, American Girl.
Or M. I was an M person.
I love that. Did you ever read Teen Beat?
No.
I think that ended in like 2006, 2007. Maybe.
I don't think so.
Mm.
I would rip out the magazine posters and put them on my wall.
Oh, for sure. I had a whole wall of them. We are going to take a TigerBeat quiz right now. I'm really excited for this. So, we're going to ask Madeline.
Okay.
We're taking a quiz. Which Jacob Sartorius lyrics perfectly describe your love life? And if you don't know who Jacob Sartorius is, you need to, because he's an angel baby.
I like him. He's cute.
All right, we're going to go through this real quickly. So, what's the status of your love life? Let Jacob Sartorius tell you. Find out which of the Heartthrobs lyrics perfectly describe your relationship status by taking this quiz. Let's start. Okay. Describe you and your crush's relationship right now. I am
non-existent. That's what it is.
Okay. I'm not sure how I feel. We bring out the best in each other. We're taking things slow. Totally crushing, but not sure how he feels. Our chemistry's off the charts.
So many options.
I know. They have a lot going on here.
None of these. What crush do I want to pick? That's the question.
Ooh.
No, I'm just kidding. Maybe I'm totally... I'm not sure how I feel.
Not sure how I feel? Okay.
That sounds accurate.
I like that. What makes you totally head over heels? The way he looks at you? The way you get along? When they let me steal their sweatshirts? When they totally get my sense of humor? When they let me be myself?
Oh, no. I do let's just do steal their sweatshirts. I love a good sweatshirt song.
How do you know when you're crushing? When you can't stop thinking about them? When you tell all your besties about them? Heart starts racing, want to be around them all the time? Or when you feel like a better version of yourself with them?
When I can't stop thinking about them.
Love that.
So cheesy.
What's your ideal first date? Chill hangout? Double date? Something adventurous, something romantic, or something you both love if you have it in common?
First date, I would say chill hangout. I like sitting on the couch.
Pick a celeb couple you ship.
I don't know any of those couples.
I don't know any of these.
Cole Sprouse and Lily Reinhardt, so I'll go for her.
Oh my god, who are these other small
Reinhardt?
children?
Reinhardt. I don't know. But it's my...
What's our result?
Sweatshirt! You and your crush are taking things slow and enjoying each other's company. Okay, but where's he at, though?
Where is he at? Hello?
I don't know.
I love sweatshirt.
Great song.
Maybe we can make that our outro.
I was gonna say, I'm like, our editor, can you please play Sweatshirt by just I was gonna say Justin Bieber. I was listening to the Spotify This Is Justin Bieber playlist all day.
Yes, I did.
All right, Jessica,
let's wrap up. All right, be sure to follow Public House Media and Crowned and Dangerous on Instagram and like us on Facebook. Subscribe, rate, review, you know the drill, wherever you're listening. Comment, email us, or slide into our DMs because we absolutely love to hear from you. Thank you for listening this week.
We'll be back in 2 weeks on May 30th for a brand new episode. This has been Maddie and Jess reminding you to always wear your invisible crown. Keep it real. Sell it or sell out.
Very real.
And if you don't know what to say, world peace.
Bye.